Kurt Boni. Still taking headlines from the Punch newspaper. Wage bill protests. National Assembly Labour meets Tuesday as sponsor knocks unions. Construction of 500 houses for 2018 Ogun flood victims begins. And Lagos starts COVID-19 vaccination by weekend. Sanwo-Olu. Youth short transmission stations. Blackout hits rivers. Bayelsa communities. Government begins fumigating of poultry markets. Also, agency threatens to shut Ajah sand dredging site. Fears over alleged abduction of women in Katsina community. Ondo health workers announce indefinite strike over non-payment of salaries. Armed herdsmen risk prosecution as Bayelsa bans open grazing. Ekiti arrests 9 child traders during school hours. And finally, Taraba governor's media aide loses son. I'm being joined in the studio this morning by GBEMISOLA. SOYEMI. Good morning, Gbemi.
Good morning to you.
All right.
All right, straight to the papers. I have the Nation newspaper here with me right now, and I have the headline that says, why Nigeria must prepare for e-cigarettes addiction. Why Nigeria must prepare for e-cigarettes addiction. All right, Senate asks federal government to return IDPs in Benin Republic. Protesting truck drivers block Benin Ore Road. Reps move motion to halt spending of 4.2 million pounds loot linked to Ibori. All right. EFCC uncovers 70 billion naira fuel subsidy fraud cases. More headlines from the Nation newspaper. EFCC uncovers 70 billion naira fuel subsidy fraud cases. UAE extends ban on Nigerian flights till March 20. Also, this morning, FEC okays 190.5 million naira for UI's research tool. Tinubu Foundation gives Lagos NUJ bus. Oyetola swears in 5 judges. NLC declares 9 governors anti-workers. Senate House, we will kill bill on wage negotiation. We will kill bill on wage negotiations. More headlines from the Nation newspaper. How to restore security in Yewa. That's coming from a group. APC will make rivers great, says Dimpa. Tackling insecurity in the Northeast. INEC releases candidates for Ekiti East by election. Those are headlines from the Nation newspaper.
Move on now to Daily Post newspaper. EFCC has uncovered 70 billion naira fuel subsidy fraud at Rashid Bauer. PEF, only 17 of 200 persons employed from Niger Delta. CSOs vow to protest. Government officials always present whenever I meet bandits. That's from Gumi. And police commences enrollment of retired officers in NHIS. NIM registration. NIMC wants Nigerians. Nigeria can have a female president. Minister Talon. Millions of naira paid to bandits as ransom in Kano. Traditional rulers allege. Enugu government takes delivery of COVID-19 vaccines. Assures on effective administration. Buhari government rules out direct refund of Ibori loot to Delta. Kaduna, 937 killed by bandits, 1,972 kidnapped. And also, minimum wage removal. Plateau workers protest, say bill is anti-people. Reps urge federal government to reopen Aminu Kano, other international airports. Still reading, taking headlines from Daily Post. Adamawa receives 59,280 COVID-19 vaccine doses. Governor Ikpeazu donates 10 million naira to family of late OC Prestige. Ibori's loot should be used for Delta victims, RAP tells federal government. Rivers deserves better than narrow gauge rail line. Wike insists. Boko Haram, Borno more secured under my command. Abdul, outgoing GOC. COVID-19. Cross River receives 53,540 doses of AstraZeneca vaccines. Senate tells federal government to urgently rehabilitate Shintaku Aigba Road. We are ashamed our lawmaker proposed anti-workers bill, Kaduna NLC. Senate to amend laws infringing on rights of Nigerian women. U.S. advances efforts to combat human trafficking in Nigeria. Bauchi police moves to tighten border security against criminal aliens. And Buhari unveils plans to reduce fuel price below 100 naira per litre.
All right, Premium Times newspaper. Nigeria must use force to end banditry, violent crimes. El Rufai. 937 people killed in violent attacks in Kaduna in 2020. Official. How we are fighting insecurity in Kaduna. El Rufai again. Enugu takes delivery of COVID-19 vaccines. Reps move to halt appropriation of £4.2 million recovered from ex-governor Ibori. Appeal court orders retrial of ex-Nigerian minister. 4 others for alleged 450 million naira fraud. EFCC files amended charges against ex-NNPC GMD Yakubu. Alleged 1.4 billion naira subsidy fraud, what EFCC chairman said in court. Nigerian government replaces emergency travel certificate with temporary passport. Health experts call for inclusion of family planning, cancer treatment in Nigeria's NHIS. On insecurity, Senate asks federal government to return displaced Ogun residents from Benin Republic. Also from Premium Times, alleged 2 billion naira fraud, another lawyer seeks to abandon MENA. COVID-19, we may commence administering vaccine Thursday. That's from Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu. Defense Ministry pledges support for new service chiefs. Boko Haram reps ask federal government to hire foreign mercenaries to fight insurgents. Also, Nigerian Stock Exchange becomes public company after 11 years in the works. NLC, TUC storm National Assembly protest over minimum wage. EFCC boss testifies in 1.4 billion naira oil subsidy fraud trial. Borno receives 75,510 doses of COVID-19 vaccine. That's coming from the deputy governor. Alleged oil diversion. Nigerian court declines to unfreeze Shell's bank account. Nigeria records 346 new cases of COVID-19, 6 more deaths. PDP elects new South-South National Vice Chairman. More headlines from Premium Times this morning. Agency abandons own projects, focuses on illegal insertions. That's an investigation carried out by Premium Times. Buhari's daughter demands retraction. Apology from Sahara reporters over publications. And finally, Naira sees second big fall in months at parallel market.
I take headlines from Vanguard newspaper now. We're tired of open grazing. Meeti Allah. We're tired of open grazing. Meeti Allah. Also, minimum wage. We are returning to slave wages era. Kano labor unions. We will commence, minimum wage. NLC protests needless. We won't stop National Assembly. NLC protests needless. Won't stop National Assembly. Progressives Governors Forums, DG. And I take the other one here. We will commence administering COVID-19 vaccine Thursday. Sanwo-Olu. Reps urge federal government to reopen international wings of Kano, Enugu, Port Harcourt airports. Akeredolu assures Ondo citizens of safety of COVID-19 vaccine. Adamawa receives 59,280 doses of COVID-19 vaccine. Makinde to implement mini-grid scheme for rural communities in Oyo. And lastly, Nigeria seeks global action to combat emerging drug trafficking threats. Marwa.
Labour threatens to shut down economy over minimum wage. That is in The Guardian. More headlines from The Guardian newspaper. Return £4.2 million Ibori loot to Delta State. Reps orders federal government. Senate alleges 120 billion naira fraudulent fuel subsidy payment. Biosap bans open grazing. Orders arrest of armed herdsmen. How to make PIB beneficial to government. Nigerians by stakeholders. OPC Igangan berates Fani Kayode over comment on Wakili's identity. Federal government seeks global action against drug trafficking. Lagos state government seals dredging site over obstruction of traffic flow. CBN clarifies Bielsa 3 billion naira agric loan, refutes alleged fraud in AAD scheme. And finally, Minister others seek synergy to tackle youth unemployment.
Thank you so much for starting your day with us. 32 FM 94.9. As I will take a break for some messages. When we come back, then we start the analysis of the news. Good morning.
Chance to do it all over again.
Get the best of starts on the break of dawn. 32 FM 94.9.
Dear customer, to link your national identification number to your Airtel router, MiFi or ODU device, kindly retrieve your NIN by dialing *346# and then go to www.airtel.com.ng. airtel.com/NIN to submit your NIN for verification and pairing with your number immediately.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
Lights, camera, Lakon.
No, it's not an act. This is my life for all to see. In the bright lights, see blessings how they follow me. From small beginnings to big brother. From the chances I take to the inspiration I give others. I am a rapper, a singer, a winner. I am an icon. So when they turn the lights on, they see that I am Lakon.
Watch I Am Lakon, a brand new Showmax original reality series, only on Showmax.com.
If only we could show you on radio our stylish new look.
Ow!
But since we can't, go to the nearest store to pick up some Amstel Malta. And for Team Fit fam, try the new Amstel Malta Ultra with no added sugar. New look Amstel Malta.
And new Amstel Malta Ultra with no added sugar. So good for you.
Amstel Malta, be your best.
Uncle Dentist, wetin be cavities and how Colgate take dey protect my teeth from cavities? Shey dey use comfort?
No dear, na hole for teeth dey cause most tooth pain wey be cavity. But if you use Colgate Maximum Cavity Protection take brush every day, the confirmed formula go help keep natural calcium inside our teeth wey go protect them from tooth decay.
Time don reach to upgrade to the world's most chosen toothpaste, Colgate, because Colgate locks calcium in.
Yes, cavities out!
Now, the Nigerian Dental Association, they recommend Colgate.
Wait till you dey wait for. You no need to stress at all, at all. Anybody don't dey for us. Make we jolly dey go, even small pikin, mommy, daddy, better life for you. Oya brukututu komaro, sisi eko abeg no dey slow. Tani bank better life promo, you don dey for you. 30,000 worth of gifts for 50 people every week. No dey sit down for your seat, grab the opportunity. Send it better like promo, send it bank account. Send it better like promo, with minimum of 5,000 naira. Send it better like promo, request it, send it debit card. Send it better like.
For more information, visit www.zenithbank.com/betterlife. Zenith Bank, in your best interest.
Oral-B 2-in-1 fún mi ní èémí dídùn fún òòjọ́. Máa lọ ṣe ìfọyín Oral-B 2-in-1 titun fún eyín tí ó lágbára àti èémí dídùn tó lálòpẹ́.
Welcome back. In case you just joined us, this is 32 FM and the program is Break It Down Newspaper Review. My name is DELE, ADEYANJU.
And I'm GBEMISOLA, SOYEMI.
We're joined in the studio by Dr. Olu Ojedokun of the Lead City University, Ibadan.
Yes, top of the day to you.
We have issues in the news today, and this fund, the Ibori loot is still lingering about where to place this money, who owns this money, where to spend this money. Yesterday, the chairman, Presidential Advisory Committee Against Corruption, Professor Sage, has advised the President, Major General Muhammadu Buhari, retired, to use the loot to fund projects in Delta State. So people are still talking about who owns this. What's the view of the law?
Well, I read with respect the view of the learned Attorney General, SAN Malami. And, I really couldn't figure out what he was trying to say legally. He was saying that there was justification in international diplomacy and the law. And yet he wasn't able to cite the law. But let me tell you what the logic is. Even without the law, the money was stolen from Delta State. It was stolen by a Delta State official. You understand? And, of course, the money went abroad. Now this money is being returned. So where do you return it to? Of course, you return it to the owners. This money we're talking about has been duly appropriated, you understand, by Delta State government. Of course, it was stolen, from to follow the court judgment. And so I don't think the federal government has any right legally or morally to take that money. They may take a share for negotiating the return of the money, but certainly not the bulk of the money. It should come back to Delta State. So I'll be curious to see detailed legal justification for Malami, SAL, as to why the federal government should take that money. I mean, you see, that's part of the problem we have with the Federation of Nigeria, where you don't allow states, you understand, to make choices and to make decisions for themselves. Let that money go back. If they want to reloot it, then let them reloot it. After all, money is also being relooted at the federal level. But to say that that money is not going to be used for Lagos Ibadan, which already has been funded anyway, even by other loans, or that is going to be used for the Niger, is it the rail that goes to I can't remember the rail. So there's no sound legal justification in my view.
But then, even though Malami has already said, while he was signing the document, he already said that this money would be used to finance these 3 key projects, which is the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, the Abuja-Kano Road, and the second Niger Bridge. Now, Malami is speaking on behalf of the federal government. And on the other side, we have the Delta State government, and some other people who are trying to justify why it should go to the Delta State government. Now, the fact that Malami is representing the federal government and he has said these things, will it not hold?
Not necessarily, especially if the Delta State government decides to go to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court adjudicates where there's dispute between the federal government and state government, and I expect them fully to go to the Supreme Court and for the Supreme Court to rule on it. I don't think there's any legal justification at all. But until they go to the Supreme Court, you're correct to say that will be the status quo for now.
All right, away from that to NLC and TUC storming the National Assembly yesterday and protesting over minimum wage again. Members of the Nigerian Labour Congress and the Trade Union Congress marched into the National Assembly on Wednesday to protest against moves by lawmakers to remove minimum wage matters from the exclusive legislative list to the concurrent legislative list. This is in reaction to a bill that passed second reading at the House of Reps in February. The bill seeks to remove minimum wage matters from the exclusive list to the concurrent list. It passed the second reading on February 23. Should the bill become law, the federal government will not have exclusive jurisdiction to determine a national minimum wage, and states will now have the power to determine their own minimum wages. Not forgetting that already some states are not even capable or have not even started paying this minimum wage. Now, if the states are to determine whether or not they want to pay or whether or not they are capable of paying, what's the hope for NLC and TUC?
Well, first and foremost, I think it reflects the confused state of our governance. Are we a federal state or are we a unitary state? And I feel that in a federal state, things like wages and so on should be determined by the state. That rule or that law, if it's moved to the concurrent list, is double-edged in the sense that it may mean that states like Lagos that can afford to pay much more will pay much more, and states like Osun that cannot afford to pay much more will pay less. But let's look at it also critically. You see, if you look at countries around the world, United Kingdom and so on, people in London do not earn the same thing as people in Birmingham. Why? Because the cost of living in London is astronomically high. Yes, you got it right. The cost of living in Lagos cannot be compared with the cost of living even in Ibadan. You understand? Even if that's very near our neighbors, Abeokuta. So therefore, it makes sense that if there's going to be any minimum wage, the variances should be taken into account. And I think by moving into the concurrent list, you allow states, you understand, to be able to do that. I think the fear of the NLC and the fear of the TUC is that some states will decide to race to the bottom. I don't think it's going to happen. I think states are going to race to the top, because if Lagos State is paying top dollar or top naira, as the case might be, it may attract people, you understand, first-class people from other states into Lagos. And then in order to compete with Lagos, then you need to raise your wages. I think they need not fear. If you want a federalism that works, then we have to allow states to have some powers. The federal government has too much powers, and that means the exclusive list is bloated.
The kind of leaders we have out here today, do you think they are ready to be in competition with a state like Lagos?
Well, with time it will happen. Maybe not now, but with time it will happen. I say give it time, But the reality of it is that many states cannot even afford to pay that 30,000. That's just the reality. And I'd rather that NUC fights those states and diverts their energy into fighting the states who have not yet paid the 30,000. Because there are many of them, quite a few, I think about 7 states, if not more.
They declared 9 governors.
9 states.
Yeah, 9 states governors.
Yes.
They gave them a name. And
so they should be diverting their energy into fighting for, in my view anyway. But what do I know?
All right. In other news, we have it here that OPC tags Vanika, the lying merchant and misinformation expert. And this is not unconnected with Iskilu Wakil. The coordinator of Odua People's Congress in Oyo State, Mr. Arotivi Olumo, has described the former Minister of Aviation Femi Fani-Kayode as a lie merchant and an expert in misinformation. Olumo said this in a statement on Wednesday, following a claim by Fani-Kayode that the Fulani warlord Abdullah Iskilu Wakil, captured by OPC members on Sunday, was not the real Wakil, tormenting the people of Ibarapa land in Oyo State. Olumo said Fani-Kayode's claim was misinformation taken too far.
Well, it's quite scathing, isn't it? It's quite scathing to describe him as a line merchant. I haven't heard that expression for quite a long time. I think it will be up to Fani-Kayode to justify or to rebut it, rather, from that point of view. But what is quite clear is that some people are claiming that Wakil is not the real Wakil. After all, Wakil has said before the press that he knows nothing about kidnapping and so on. I didn't expect him to go to the press and make an open confession.
After he was arrested?
Yes, I didn't expect him to make an open confession and lay claim to many criminal murders and facilitating kidnapping and so on. No, of course he's not going to. That's a matter for the courts in any case. I think Fani-Kayode should just stay away. He's getting involved in too many things that he may not understand the real implications of or may not have the expertise to comment on. And I think this is one which will suggest from that point of view.
Is this seeking some relevance towards 2023?
Absolutely, it's up to something. Whether it's relevant, yes, whether it's relevant or not is another matter entirely. But it's up to something because it's been all over the place, all over the political map. You understand, making visits all over across the zones. You understand, meeting the PDP, APC, and so on and so forth. So you have to ask the question: what exactly is his game plan?
This person said, I remember former President Olusegun Obasanjo once said that Fani-Kayode can do anything for money and survival. He said he lives in Abuja romancing with the North, yet he was the first to refute the claim that the kidnapper was not Wakili. Where did he get this information?
Precisely.
Or maybe because he started romancing with Sunday Igboho, maybe he knows something or he knows
more than
more.
Some
well,
people.
But his romance with Sunday Igboho is not really, the fidelity of it cannot even be attested to. After all, he romances with the Kogi State governor and many other characters, you understand. So it's all over the place, you understand. He's with Sunday Igboho tonight, and the next morning he's with somebody else, you understand, politically speaking, to be careful. So I wouldn't take him too seriously at this stage.
What if it turns out that he has some valid, or he had some valid information?
Well, then it would be tested in the courts, because Wakil should not be condemned, obviously, until it goes through a judicial process. And I think if Fani-Kayode has such information, he should provide it, and he should provide it to the courts, backing it up with evidence, of course.
All right, let's quickly talk about abductions, kidnappings, and the likes. There's this report that says 937 killed, 1,972 abducted in Kaduna. That's, I think, in 2020, yeah. Bandits killed 937 persons in Kaduna State last year. A report submitted yesterday by the Ministry of Internal Security and Home Affairs has shown, according to the commissioner in charge of the ministry, Samuel Aronwa, 1,972 residents were kidnapped between last year. Governor Nasir El-Rufai, who received the report, ruled out dialogue with and amnesty for bandits. He said his administration would not negotiate with criminals of any description and under any guise. El-Rufai reiterating once again that he will not pat these guys at the back.
Yes, but the headline, of course, is the horrendous numbers. People murdered and, of course, abductions. And some will say this is the dividend of our so-called democracy. I think it's a shame. And I think it's a shame that the government, either the state government or the federal government, has not been able to get on top of this. It shows you that there's failing in terms of security, not just at the state level, but more importantly at the federal level. It also shows you that the architecture, the security architecture, which we have or claim to have that in place, is not fit for purpose. It certainly does not serve our needs, does not protect our people, does not ensure their security, and therefore it needs to be looked at. El-Rufai has come up with those statements, but in the past we know that El-Rufai has romanced them. In the past he has given money to Fulani, I don't know whether herdsmen or not, but he's given money to them in order to secure releases. So I think this is late in the day to say it, because once you establish a precedent of giving money to bandits, criminals, or terrorists, the story goes that if you shake him a bit, the money is going to drop.
Uriwa pointed out that Sheikh Gumi should be arrested because he knows where these bandits and these kidnappers have always been. But he responded and said that all his interactions with bandits were done in the presence of government officials, and he said that those rebuking or calling for his arrest and prosecution, they're clowns, and they shouldn't call for his arrest because he's always done everything in accordance with maybe the law or something. He always has witnesses.
Well, I wouldn't call for his arrest, but I certainly will call for his debriefing, for his interrogation. There are questions, and all those government officials that are in tow or his accomplices, they should all be questioned. They have critical questions to ask. It may lead to prosecution, it may not lead to prosecution, but there are certain information, facts and figures that are aware about that, in fact, the security forces need to be made known to the security forces. So it's not enough to say, it's not every time that you invite somebody and you prosecute him. No, sometimes you invite them for a chat in order to get some information which will lead to the prosecution, apprehension of others.
But each time we talk about kidnapping and banditry, it seems that no solution is in sight.
Well, no solution in sight because the structure wouldn't even allow us to provide a solution. We have a ponderous police force, we call it police force in this country, which is situated in Abuja and which seeks through its tentacles to provide security for the outlying areas of the federation, and that's not working. It's not working because the numbers they don't even have the numbers. 370,000, 150,000 of them are on handbagging duties. They're not enough for 200 million plus people, and then most of the decisions are made from Abuja, not made from the states, where are the scenes of many of these crimes. So it just wouldn't allow it to work.
So we are looking at a structure or a system that should be restructured.
Yes, that should be restructured, but unfortunately there are people who are benefiting from the present mess, the present hiatus that we have, and that's why they're not allowing it to happen. But if we are going to make progress, if we are going to go to the next level, of course the system has to be restructured.
All right, we'll take a break for some messages. So when we come back, we continue with other headlines this morning.
32 FM
94.9.
Honey, must you go?
Babe, you know I must. Besides, you can always video call me.
Hey, what if your battery runs out?
I've got my power bank.
Hey, and when your power bank runs out?
Babe, I've got my laptop.
Okay, wait. What if your data runs out?
Babe, you know we never run out of data.
Never run out of data with Airtel Home Broadband Unlimited Ultra plans. Enjoy unlimited data with no speed cap plus extra data daily, so you never have to worry about running out. Visit www.airtel.com.ng/HBB to get started.
Babe, but I just left the house.
Yes, honey. It's video calling all the way.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
Charles!
Yes, mommy?
Go and bring 2 sachets of hypo bleach for me.
Why 2?
Because I'm using one to soak the whites and using one to kill all the germs.
But I can't see any germs here.
They are so tiny you can't see them. But they are there. And that is why I trust only hypo bleach to kill them all.
Make your white fabrics whiter and your household free of illness causing germs and viruses with the disinfecting power of hypo bleach.
If only we could show you on radio our stylish new look.
Ow!
But since we can't, go to the nearest store to pick up some Amstel Malta. And for Team Fit Fam, try the new Amstel Malta Ultra with no added sugar. New look Amstel Malta.
And new Amstel Malta Ultra with no added sugar. So good for you.
Amstel Malta, be your best.
Kí ló dé tó já sí pọ́ọ̀tù bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn? Ó yẹ kó kọ́kọ́ kan ní kẹ́.
Ta ló sọ yẹn? Bẹ́ẹ̀ni ṣe ń ṣe pásítà tèmi nìyẹn o. Àti pé golden penny ni pásítà tí kì í lẹ̀pọ̀ kò sí ìyọnu.
Àwọn èmi fèsì pẹ̀lú ṣàjì àti oríṣiríṣi. Àtàtà tí kò kún náà ti rúworo.
Gbádùn golden penny pasta. Bó o ṣe fẹ́, a ṣe golden penny pasta pẹ̀lú èpo àlìkámà, durum wheat tó ní protein tí kì í sí lẹ̀pọ̀. O ní àǹfààní láti sè é, bù ú tàbí jẹ bó o ṣe fẹ́ nítorí pé kò ní lẹ̀pọ̀. Pẹ̀lú golden penny pasta, bó o ṣe fẹ́ ló dáa jù.
Mọ ohun tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ ní àyíká rẹ nípasẹ̀ ìròyìn BBC ní Yorùbá. Nítorí kí o tó lè tayọ, o ní láti mọ̀ ọ́n. Ní ìmísí pẹ̀lú àwọn oríṣiríṣi ìròyìn láti ibi àti káàkiri àgbáyé. Nígbà tí o bá ní ìmọ̀ nípa ohun tó ń lọ ní àgbáyé, o lè ṣe ohunkóhun. Mọ ohun tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ ní àyíká rẹ. Wá BBC News Yorùbá kàn.
àwọn èèyàn mi ṣègbè nítorí àìmọ̀kan Ruben George Theological Seminary Ìbàdàn ẹ̀ka ilé ẹ̀kọ́ fásitì Àjàyí Crowther tí ń bẹ lọ́yọ̀ọ́ àti Christ for the Nations Institute Dallas ní USA ń ṣètò ìdánilẹ́kọ̀ọ́ tó kún fọ́fọ́ nípa ìmọ̀ ẹ̀kọ́ Ọlọ́run pẹ̀lú ìwé ẹ̀rí tó yọrantí nípa ètò ẹ̀kọ́ ìmọ̀ Ọlọ́run Diploma in Theology and Religious Studies, Bachelor of Arts in Theology and Religious Studies, Executive Postgraduate Diploma in Pastoral Studies, Masters of Arts in Christian Leadership and Pastoral Studies, Master of Divinity. Ǹjẹ́ àlùfáà ìjọ nìwọ ni díákónì lọ́kùnrin lóbìnrin alàgbà ìjọ ajínrere olùkọ́ tàbí ẹni tó tún fẹ́ nímọ̀ lẹ́kùnrẹ́rẹ́ nípa Ọlọ́run Ruben George Theological Seminary gangan ló dáńtọ́ fún ọ láti wá ẹ kàn sí alákòóso Ruben George Theological Seminary ní Gospel Town Arúlógún Road Ọ̀jọ́ Ìbàdàn tàbí ojú òpó ayélujára www.riget.com.ng. ètò ìgbaniwọlé ń lọ lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀lú wa ní 0805-304-0344 0805-304-0344 Ruben George Theological Seminary ilé ẹ̀kọ́ fún ẹ̀kọ́ nípa ìmọ̀ Ọlọ́run tó yanrantí.
You don't see that new funny video for Twitter? That one with the boy.
You mean this one?
What of that brother Shaggy news kit where they circulate WhatsApp?
Oh, this one.
What of that meme where the guy?
When mouth open like this, ba?
Mr. No It All. Which data you they use know all these things?
Now, Glow new data plans get me.
Are you serious?
With just 50 naira, and they get 50 MB. And with just 100 naira, and they get 150 MB. We have to use chat or browse on top Facebook, WhatsApp, Twitter, and even Snapchat. Don't dull yourself, oh. Dial *777# now. Make you begin the browse, they go.
Glow Unlimited.
Welcome back. 32FM 949 Ibadan. That's our handle on YouTube. 32FM 949 Ibadan. You can start to drop your headline there already. Yes, quickly before we take our next break and when we're going to open the phone lines, the federal government has disclosed plans to crash the price of refined petroleum products below 100 naira per litre. President Muhammadu Buhari's senior special assistant on Niger Delta Affairs, ADEYANJU, said the cost of petroleum products would crash when Nigeria refines the products locally. Speaking at a press conference in Abuja, ADEYANJU said the presidency, in collaboration with the Federal Ministry of Finance, Budget and National Planning, has concluded plans to hold a national conference on integrating artisanal modular petroleum refinery operations aimed at improving the capacity of the product and crashing the prices of petroleum products. ADEYANJU explained that the conference will work to integrate local refining capacity into refining petroleum. I think this is English.
Of course it's grammar. Of course it's grammar. Of course, I was just chuckling here. Who do these people take us for? Do it, you understand? Already we have Dangote, which is about to come on board, you understand? And of course it makes sense. The more refineries that you have, of course the prices will crash because we spend a lot in subsidy in terms of these products from that point of view. We don't need a conference to tell us this, you understand? I mean, to me it's just another jamboree, you understand? Where money will be spent and justification for some budget expenditure. I think just do it, you understand? Rather than all this whole idea. But certainly we need to sell off the government refineries, which are gulping a lot of money and are not working. Yeah. Those Kaduna, Warri, and the other one I can't remember where it is.
Quickly, concurrence. Senate is slowing us down, says the Reps Majority Leader. The House of Representatives has lamented that the Senate is not living up to expectation regarding concurrence on bills passed by the lower legislative chamber of the National Assembly. The House Leader Al-Hassan Adeodogua voiced the concern of the House when he presented some bills from the Senate. On Wednesday, he said there are many bills sent to the Senate for concurrence which have not been considered for as provided by law. About 3 days ago, there was this proposal also, I think on Monday, that they are looking at sitting once a week instead of, as against the twice in a week that they are sitting presently. They're supposed to normally have, I think, 181 sittings in a year. Now they are looking at sitting just once in a week, and that would not meet up with the 181 times they're supposed to meet in a year.
The whole idea, I mean, the whole plan, I mean, it's as if we have been scammed. If you go to United States, if you go to Britain, even if you go to Ghana, you understand, our neighbor and that sort of thing, they sit, virtually almost every day. Of course, they would not sit during the holidays and stuff like that. And even if it's 3 hours or 2 hours or whatever, they sit every day. I really don't know what the senators are up to. I don't know what their game plan is. I don't know what exactly they're playing at. So governance, legislative governance, is not song and dance. It's not fun and games. And if we have a constitutional requirement of 181, which I believe is low anyway, you understand, and then you decide to be sitting once a day, what exactly are they doing? Little wonder they are unable to do their constitutional role of concurrence. And many people will suggest that the Senate, more than any other legislative body, has become much more of a rubber stamp than anything else. Everything that the executive brings, virtually everything, 99.9, they approve. You understand? They just do voice votes. In fact, they've thrown out, and I started with Saraki's administration, which is one of the things I have against it. When they have to make a decision in the Senate on the floor, they use voice vote. What happens all over the world is when you use voice vote and there are some objections, then you go to division. Division means that you actually take the actual. They don't do that at all. That's why you see that almost every proposal about the presidency is passed. And that's not really oversight. That's not being a critical friend. So it's unfortunate that some bills have been delayed, some of them probably of critical importance. And the problem is when you delay them, when you have to look at them in detail, you make mistakes. And you pass inconsistencies in the law, and the laws don't stand the test of time.
And also not forgetting that this same chambers, the two chambers now, even now, if you see, it looks like the House is divided against itself. They're supposed to be working together, and now one part is saying that you are not doing your job. The other part has not responded. We don't know what they're going to say about this.
Well, we don't know what they're going to say, but one of the things it points to is that we certainly don't need a bicameral legislature. We need one. That's what we can afford. That's what we can work with. We have too many of them. And sometimes this is duplication of roles, because the reason why we have two is that so that House of Reps are the sort of less mature legislatures, and then the Senate puts a break, bringing the wisdom, the wisdom of their experience to temper some of the, more radical laws and so on and so forth. That was the purpose.
The House of Reps is claiming or making it look like they work more.
Yes, that's what it seems, because they are saying they're passing more bills, and the Senate is unable to concur. If they're unable to concur, then there's no law. You understand? And they've just gone through the exercise, which is meaningless in many respects.
All right, just before we open the phone lines, the EFCC has uncovered about 70 billion fraud carried out through the federal government's fuel subsidy program. Chairman of EFCC, Abdulrashid Ba, disclosed this during a chat with newsmen at the Ikeja High Court in Lagos yesterday. Ba, while appearing at the court, testified in a fuel subsidy trial involving an oil firm, Nadabo Energy. Speaking, he disclosed that the Commission would continue to rigorously pursue all its cases in court. He said we have identified fraud of about 70 billion naira perpetrated through fuel subsidy.
I'm not surprised, because it's an enormous amount of money we spend on fuel subsidy. In fact, it's up to more than $1 trillion in the past. So, of course, there's going to be leakages of some sort. And so that amount of figure and that amount is not surprising. But what is of concern is that we still don't have enough in terms of this, what's the word, to discourage people from fraud on that level and on that scale. I think Nigerians' governance and Nigerians' commerce is riddled with corruption and fraud. And rather than people do a job that is given to them to do, they're finding ways in which they want to scam the Nigerian people.
All right, let's open the phone lines so you can call in and give us what your contribution is. The number is 0906 2000 949 or 0809 7000 949. You can also drop your comments on YouTube at 32FM 949 Ibadan. 32FM 949 Ibadan. If you can't get through to us via a phone call, you can send a text message to any of those numbers. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
I've been saying this on this platform. The problem we have in this country is systemic problem. We need to change this whole structure. Nothing will function until we change this structure. See, we need to restructure the whole structure we have. The structure is not good at all. Look at the Borina, 4.2 million pounds from state allocation in a data state. We need to restructure our mind too. Good morning, this is Omobashir.
Thank you very much, Omobashir.
just to make a correction, it's not just state allocation, it also comes from IGR, internally generated revenue, and that's part of the issue.
All right, so the money belongs to Delta State.
Of course it does. Or to Delta State people, I'll be more precise.
Okay, Delta State people.
Yes.
All right.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Jimmy and Dele. Good morning, Dr. Dedo.
Good morning, sir.
Johnny Joko is my name, and just like this Ibori Youth, I made my view known yesterday program, and I want to say it once again. As someone was saying, we need to restructure because of Ibori Youth. Is it the restructuring that will make someone not to see government funds? I'm asking that man now. When you see, just as the doctor has said, the Delta State government should proceed to the court, and I said it yesterday, immediately for determination. It is unfortunate that the federal government, whose High Court, the Federal High Court presided by Justice Marcel Awukuleni, acquitted the James Onana Sebori of all the charges of corruption worth 56,250,000,000 naira, property of Delta State. I can remember then, but was convicted over the same charges in the United Kingdom, who turned around and claimed full possession of the looted funds. In my own view, the federal government deserves some percentage of the money. Doctor is correct, having been involved in the discussion exercise, and not to have total or full control of the fund, thereby denying the actual owner of the fund its right of possession. That is the Delta State. While I want to commend the House of Reps for urging the federal government to do the needful, and definitely not Professor Issa Saji, because he's an interested party in the saga, having come from Delta State. John Njok is my name. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Mr. Njok, for calling. 0906 2949 0809 7000 Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Dele. Good morning, Bemi.
Morning.
Yeah, Dr. Jericho, good morning. My name is Dr. Mark. I'm calling from the University of Ibadan. I have a view, and that is not really helping our democracy. The last time I checked, I think the three arms of government are supposed to be equal: the executive, the legislature, and the judiciary. But this particular government we are running, the executive seems to be more superior to the two of them. The legislature we have cannot even talk to the executive. The judiciary cannot do the same. They seem to be under the executive, and so the executive has so much power to the level that they get away with so many things. Even when they go against the rule of law, when they are supposed to follow due process and they're not following it, the judiciary cannot talk to them, the legislature cannot talk to them. The way government works all over the world is the executive is that careful because he knows that the judiciary can fairly come together with the legislature and impeach him. So if we have a structure that the executive has so much power that even the legislature are so quiet, and also the judiciary, they can't do anything to the executive, then we'll keep having problems in this country. I want the situation where those in the house can always talk when things are not good. Look at the state of insecurity in this nation. Look at the kind of money that's drained. I'm talking about 17 billion. The money is even more than that. They come today to tell us subsidy has been removed tomorrow. What the government says, refinery until so thing is done, is going to be a total lie. I can tell you, even when Dangote refinery kicks off, we'll still be having this problem. That Dangote refinery in Enugu, the government at that time fought against that refinery. The guys were building, and it went down. They didn't allow it to survive. I am praying that we have a better system, such that when we say we are running through democracy, we will be running through democracy. All the three arms of government are supposed to be equal. See, that's why we are having all the challenges we are having now, where the insecurity is everywhere, the police is not working, nobody can talk to them. Those in the minister, the last time Minister of Finance was not releasing money to them at the upper chamber, and they are complaining. Is it supposed to be like that? Is there no budget that's supposed to go direct to each of these arms of government? That is my take this morning. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Quickly, we'll take a break for some messages and we'll be back. Stay with us.
Ibadan! 9 Mobile 4G LTE has landed and we are in for the time of our lives. Streaming matches will never be the same. Video calls will be clearer than ever. Work will be so smooth, it won't feel like work. That's smooth.
Yes, Ibadan. Enjoy browsing with quality 4G LTE on 9 mobile data plans. Get 2 GB plus free access to social media for 500 naira, 7 GB plus free access to social media for 1,500 naira, and 3.5 GB free data for night streaming on select monthly data plans of 1,000 naira and above. Dial *200*3*1# to get started. T&Cs apply. 9 Mobile.
It's a happy feeling when receiving all of the love coming from family.
So many recipes, creating memories every day and every night. Bonding families,
yeah. 60 years of joy, giving love, so much value, quality. Golden penny is you, golden penny is me. Golden penny is at the heart of the family. Golden penny is you, golden penny is me. Golden penny is at the heart of the family.
Golden Penny Foods is celebrating 60 years at the heart of the family.
Heart of the family.
òṣì òyẹ mímú taka òṣì dànù. ìpàtẹ́yìn bá ń kó àti ìgbìyànjú ẹ̀ ló mú kí ìgbé ayé ẹni ó yí padà sí rere. ilé-iṣẹ́ Daranua Digital World wọ́n ṣetán láti fi ọ̀nà ọ̀la hàn yín kúrò lọ́wọ́ ogun kòsíkòsí ojoojúmọ́ nípa ìdókòwò orí ẹ̀rọ ayélujára. lóòótọ́ lẹ ti lè máa gbọ́ oríṣiríṣi nípa okòwò orí ẹ̀rọ ayélujára ṣùgbọ́n ti ilé-iṣẹ́ Daranua Digital World ṣàrà ọ̀tọ̀. ìdí ni pé wọ́n kọ́ yín lọ́nà tẹ́ lè gbà di olókòwò ńlá lórí ẹ̀rọ ayélujára. tẹ́yìn náà bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ni máa rí èrè gọbọi lẹ́yìn ọjọ́ péréte. gbogbo àwọn èrè tó bá wà ní wọ́lẹ̀tì yín lè gbà sí àpò àsùnwọ̀n ilé ìfowópamọ́ yín. ilé-iṣẹ́ Daranua Digital World wọ́n forúkọ sílẹ̀ gbòǹtẹ̀ ìjọba. kódà ọ̀pọ̀ ènìyàn tó ti darapọ̀ mọ́ wọn ló ń fò fáyọ̀. ìwọ náà má dàgùlá darapọ̀ nínú sẹ́mínà tí yóò wáyé ní ọjọ́ Friday àti Saturday ọ̀sẹ̀ yìí ní nọ́mbà 10 Lákànmí close Akomalam building Total Garden Ìbàdàn. láti kópa ẹ fi orúkọ àti àdúgbò yín ṣọwọ́ sí 0812-347-5530 tàbí 0907-296-0207. dókòwò pẹ̀lú Daranua Digital World lónìí kò gbàgbé òṣì.
láti gòkè àgùnlà láyé èèyàn nílò ìtọ́sọ́nà ẹni tó mọ̀nà débi àṣeyọrí. FMH International HR àwọn ni gbajúgbajà akọ́ṣẹ́mọṣẹ́ iléeṣẹ́ alárinà tó mọ ojúlẹ̀jà bá ti ń tọ́ni sọ́nà finimọ̀nà nípa bí gbogbo òǹwáṣẹ́ ṣe lè pàdé àwọn òǹgbanisíṣẹ́ pàápàá jùlọ láwọn orílẹ̀-èdè tó wà lókè òkun.
FMH International HR alábàáṣepọ̀ gidi ni wọ́n jẹ́ pẹ̀lú àjọ oníwádìí ìjìnlẹ̀ àgbáyé tá a mọ̀ sí United Nations Volunteer Research Group láti jùmọ̀ tọpinpin wàhálà táwọn ọmọlẹ́yìn kojú nídìí ìgbìyànjú ajé lọ sílẹ̀ òkèèrè. ìyẹn ọ̀rọ̀ tó jẹ mọ́ international migration àti international labour activities.
ǹjẹ́ o tiẹ̀ mọ̀ pé o nílò ìmọ̀ tó jinlẹ̀ dáadáa nípa ìlànà à ń tẹ̀lé láwọn pápákọ̀ òfurufú tó fẹ́ gbà sọdá sílẹ̀ òkèèrè. lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ bá a ṣe ń sọ̀rọ̀ yìí United Nations Volunteer Research Group pẹ̀lú àjọṣepọ̀ FMH International HR ń ṣe research lórí ẹ̀dùn ọkàn àti ìpèníjà tẹ́ ẹ bá ní. questionnaires táwọn òṣìṣẹ́ FMH bá fún yín lágbègbè yín lẹ́yìn ṣàlàyé ìrírí yín sí.
fún àlàyé lẹ́kùnrẹ́rẹ́ kàn sí wọn ní 3rd and 9th floor Cocoa House Dùgbẹ̀ Ìbàdàn.
telephone 0817 4444 627
àti 08168737222.
Guy, how far now? If you see this game, in fact, go to channel 203 now.
Wait, let me check. But I can't view the channel.
Really? You haven't heard of Step Up? Now I'm watching live sports action from the biggest leagues since I upgraded my DSTV subscription. And I got the next higher package.
That's right. Step up to the next level. If you're on the younger package and upgrade to confirm, you will get the next higher package. DSTV Compact, worth 7,900 naira to enjoy all the live matches. Offer available for a limited time only. Terms and conditions apply.
Uncle Dentist, wetin be cavities and how Colgate take dey protect my teeth from cavities? Shey dey use comfort?
No dear, na hole for teeth dey cause most tooth pain wey be cavity. But if you use Colgate Maximum Cavity Protection take brush every day, the confirmed formula go help keep natural calcium inside our teeth wey go protect them from tooth decay.
Time don reach to upgrade to the world's most chosen toothpaste, Colgate, because Colgate locks calcium in.
Yes, cavities out!
Now, the Nigerian Dental Association, they recommend Colgate.
32 FM
94.9.
FM 949. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Morning, sir.
I'm Falodo calling from Kopa Ilodo.
Welcome, sir.
Nigeria should stop playing politics. Pertaining to Ibori, we stop playing politics international image. Ibori loot has already been forfeited. So the money was not released to the federal government of Nigeria, not to Delta State. Because on some conditionalities, that's why the money was released. But now we are now trying to play local politics with the money. So I think we should not try to destroy the image of this country in the name of politics. Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you very much.
So, I mean, I would ask the question, who owns the money? Well, that's the main question. Who owns the money?
0906 2000 949 0809 7000 949. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Morning, sir.
My name is Babawale Baramasi. The money is not for the federal, it's for the state. Simply because the federal have been collecting 1%. Yes, it's for the state. Yes. If they agree, let them go to court now. Oh, come on.
Oh, wow. Very passionate, isn't he?
Oladoja Larry on YouTube. In Nigeria today, an analog constitution cannot be effective in this digital age. Let's have a complete constitution reform and restructuring.
Hello.
God bless our nation. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. You have Solomon on the line. I'm calling you from Lagos.
All right.
I completely, totally disagree with your guest in the house. And I will tell you my reason. Sir, at initial stage, even as at today, Delta State government have not accepted that their money is missing. Yes or no, sir? As at today.
There's a court judgment, and the court judgment is what is relevant.
Sir, can you answer this particular question that I asked you? The owner of the money, the state, did they accept that their money is missing?
But the court judgment establishes that
You
money
are
is
not.
missing.
You are being diplomatic with this answer, sir. That is why I totally disagree with you. If the owner of the money said their money is not missing, so what can we say? And by the way, let me remind you, sir. You know there was this particular one. This the same James Iburi tried to bribe the former EFCC chairman. This is the same state, sir. Go and check it. They went to court, wanted to claim that money, and court asked them to provide evidence that that particular money that James Ibori want to use to bribe Ribadu is their money. They couldn't provide it, and the judgment went to the federal government. So let them go to court on this one. I'm quite assured that money will not release to Delta State. Thank you, sir.
Oh, thank you.
We'll see what the court comes up with it. But I don't think the question is whether or not Delta says it's not their money. I think they're certainly claiming the money now. They're certainly saying it's their money. So if in the past they haven't, on the basis of the judgment, they're saying it's their money.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi, Adeyanju from Akwete.
You're welcome, sir.
I want you to enlighten us or educate us more. When Abacha stole that huge amount of money, it is the federal government money. And when it has been repatriated here, it was shared to the states sometimes. Federal government took its own part of the share. Now, Iboris has stolen huge amount of money from Delta Copper. And the government, legal, and the money has been given back now. I think the federal government only has to take the legal charges for me and not taking the old money because it is federal Delta State money. That is my own submission. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Dr. Ojedoku, you said something that the money belongs to Delta people.
It's really the people, you understand, because at the end of the day, when we say government, we mean government using it for their own, benefits and so. It should be for the benefit of the Niger Delta people, rather the Delta State people. You remember that there's also IGL there, internally generated revenue.
Hello.
Good morning.
Morning.
This is Oledi. Were they not the same people that organized an elaborate party for Ibodi when he came back from London?
Oh, okay.
All right, Achibiri, federal government should righteously return the Ivory's loot to Delta State government, the original owner of the fund. If federal government talks about taking tithe of the fund, which cannot be more than 10%, people may support it, but otherwise, no. Without that fund, federal government could still finish the Ibadan-Lagos Expressway. Let the right thing be done by the federal government. Hello.
Hello, good morning. It's John Olaruwaju from Ado.
All right, quickly, 30 seconds, sir.
Thank you. As a matter of fact, this issue not need to be argued about. That is why we don't practice a system of government. You know, when we are practicing federal system of government, we don't need to argue about the money. The money belongs to the state. If the state is controlling the resources on its own, you don't need federal government to give them any allocation. They are the ones that we put in this to the federal government post. So this is not a matter of question whether state government are asking about the money, whether it's missing or not. No, that's not the issue. The money belongs to the state. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. It's time to go, Dr. Yadokun. Thank you for coming. We'll see you again next week or something. Yeah. DELE ADEYANJU is my name. Enjoy the rest of your day.
My name is GBEMISOLA SOYEMI. Have a great day ahead.
The station admired by other radio stations.
Yes, we are.